Welcome back to the Beacon World League. I hope you all had time to run, get ready, get rested, because I certainly didn't. We are heading straight on in to Division 1 of the Beacon World League. If you thought the action was hot, you have seen nothing yet, because we are starting things off with the most insane match that I think is happening. And honestly, it's entirely Binkss' fault for seeding in 16th place, because he only found out about the event 4 days early. Match 1 of Division 1. Epos, Barbos, Ender, and Binkss. We're running out of time already. Coco, we're going to jump straight into predictions. I mean, how are you feeling about this match? Who do you think's going to win it?
Yep, I'm always going to my closest friend in the game, and I can call it my little brother, Binkss. He's going to win it all. No chance for the others.
It's 16th seed to first place in Division 1. Is that fair?
I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, this match is absolutely incredible. The fact that we have these 4 players going against each other is insane. Binkss is a very good show. Anyone is a good show. I'm going to have to go with Epos.
Yeah, I mean, Epos did incredibly well in seeding. Walked out of that event with 3 world records across the maps. I think he's dropped a couple since then, and since we've added the 2 extra maps, is he down to 2 bads? Is that correct?
I think it is something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's getting closer up there at the top, and well, since then I believe we don't have match times. We do know the Tween has walked away from Div 2 with 3 out of 5 division records, and that we'll have to wait and see what happens in Div 1 once we do kick things off here. But I am just so excited. I mean, I agree with you. You've mentioned Epos, you've mentioned Binkss. I mean, eyes on Barbos as well. Obviously, his twin brother also playing in the competition. Barbos seeding a little bit lower down in 8th place, but someone who definitely, I think, could be making a run for top 3 here as well.
Yeah, and they take a closer look at combined PBs. Binkss is going for the strategy to hide his best maps.
Yeah, 36 minutes combined PBs.
Not bad at all. But yeah, I do think Binkss is going to hide for the whole competition, or at least for the first matches. His performance, his best maps. Maybe we can see later on what his combined PBs are. But for the first match, he's hiding everything, and I know everything, but I'm not going to say anything.
We're not going to say anything. We're going to have to find out, because we are ready to head into the pick ban, Babs. I'm sorry for talking across you. I'm just so excited. It will be an Epos ban. Are we going to see Perseverance taken off the table one more time? It was a favourite to ban down in Div 2. It'll be Galafu this time around. Babs, how are we feeling about that?
Yeah, I was going to ask Coach Coco to leak all the strats, leak everything, but obviously staying true to his friendships. Galifeu, Binkss seeded first in rounds on Galifeu. Considering he'd only discovered the map 4 days prior, that is quite impressive. Barbos picking Ruby, and to be honest, this can go anywhere.
Yeah, I do think Barbos he's having a world record on Ruby, and by a large margin, I think. So definitely his best map. Yeah, I do think Ender is gonna pick Meltdown, which he does. Really ice tricky sector, which he can gain a lot of times. Binkss is having a pick. Which
Pick
one?
with Miata on this one.
Miata. All right.
Interesting. Yeah,
I'm surprised, Coco. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Who could have seen this coming?
I can say it's his second best map. His best map being Galifeu, obviously. But yeah, we're coming to a really, really strong match. There is no room for mistakes here. And yeah, may the best win.
Well, I've asked every time, Coco, but I do want to ask particularly this time. You say Galifeu is going to be Binkss' best map. Maybe no surprises there. Does the fact that it gets banned away change anything for you there? Or no, it's still easy Binkss win?
Well, it's still easy Binkss win.
Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't think we were going to get a different answer, but I got to check on that one for sure. I mean, I'm just so excited. I think we should be ready to head on in straight away to our casting desk for this one. And, well, that's what we're going to do. Unfortunately, you won't be getting rid of me anytime soon. We'll save goodbye to Babs and Coco, and we will head on into the casters, where I am going to be joined by Twiggy for our first match of Div 1 in Beacon World League. Twiggy, that is ominous, creepy, terrifying already.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's kind of the energy that I bring to the broadcast. It's an unsettling vibe. This is going to be what... I mean, like, here's the thing. Not only is it going to be an entertaining match to watch, but it's also the most important match in Div 1, I feel like. When you've got 4 players of this caliber, getting first place in this is massive. Like, you've got 3 of the biggest obstacles out the way already.
I mean, just setting the tone for your entire event immediately as well, right? And because we've talked about it before too, I mean, beating the players close to you in the standings it's good because you're not just getting points yourself, you're taking points away from them, denying them points as well. And that's especially true with the kind of format that we've introduced for Beacon World League here, where there's points available for fastest map as well, where you get the fastest lap record, which... exciting, and I think that's going to be a very tight battle on this one. If I see Binkss walk away with 4 match records, I'm going to be so disappointed.
We'll see. With Galafu not in the, who knows what's going to happen? You know, we can theorize all we want. It's all going to be down to the performances on the server when it comes to it. I'm excited to see some perseverance.
Yeah, first time today that we do get to see Perseverance. We won't be seeing much of it because it is pick number 4, so we'll only manage to visit it once unless this match does things literally thought impossible.
You never really know, let's be honest here.
It could happen, but we are going to be kicking things off. The Kaiser Chiefs would be happy because we're heading straight on in to Ruby, Ruby, Ruby.
I don't know if that works with the background music as well. I don't know how loud it is
Probably
on the stream
not.
end, but yeah, probably really not mixing well there.
Yeah, I heard that song a lot when I was 14. I dated a girl called Ruby, and so it did get sung at me every day when I walked into class.
Why would people sing it at you when you surely they would sing
because
it at
it was
her.
an all-boys school. Maybe they also sang it at her. I don't know. We weren't in the same
it was
school.
a she goes to a different school.
She
kind
went
of
to a
thing.
different school kind of thing.
Was
yeah,
she real Noah?
probably. Honestly, it was a
Okay,
long
love
time
that.
ago, Twiggy.
Yeah,
And I mean,
very
you can
good.
trust
I
memories
feel
more
like-
than a decade old.
Yeah, sure. I feel like you've created your own memories in this circumstance. But here we go. We're into what may be the most exciting game of the whole Beacon World League. Sorry that we got it over and done with on the first day. That's just the way things are sometimes. There will be plenty more exciting games to watch, so please stick around after this one. She definitely wasn't real.
This match is
Oh,
real.
no,
Binkss
Binkss!
crashing. That can't be real. Your eyes are deceiving you. It's not, though. Binkss currently sitting in 4th place, over a second behind Epos, who is sitting in 3rd. Not a great start to this match for Epos, who I think will be looking to walk away with a couple of match records himself. Barbos comfortably out in 1st place, followed by Ender. Are there any mistakes to be made on this dirt uphill? Not at the moment. Looking pretty clean for everyone. Ender dropping a little bit of time though. The exit a little bit shaky. Epos gaining around this final corner. Speed is good, and Epos will look to carry this all the way to the line and maybe a 2nd place snipe as well. But Epos dipping off the sausage is a little bit slower, and Ender holds on to 2nd place after that charge.
Yeah, just about a little more speed at the end there. Takes a wide line, but still just about manages to take 2nd place. And Barbos and Ender, those are the two right in the middle of the pack right now, 8th and 9th seed. So you've got to expect them to perform similarly. Right now, they are breathing down each other's necks there in 1st and 2nd place. Excited to see how that keeps going. But as you said it earlier today, anybody on their day could win in Div 1. And that is, I think, what we're going to see right here is that there are going to be mistakes all over the pack. It's not going to be 1st seed is beating 16th seed. Absolutely, no shot. It's going to be just every round is so important.
Yeah, it's so stressful as well. I mean,
Yes.
for the players, also for us, because I'm predicting a very, very tight end to this match already. And it's going to be fun when we get there. I've been looking forward to Beacon for so many months, and I'm so glad that we're here.
The
and it is living
culmination.
up to the hype.
Yeah. Absolutely. I hope everybody else is enjoying it. Obviously, this is more of a proof of concept than anything else, and it's doing quite well so far. So, it's a good proof of concept. Either way, Ender and Barbos once again in 1st and 2nd place. Epos and Binkss not far behind this time around, but still trailing by a couple of tenths here. And it really is just the Barbos and Ender show up at the front here for the time being. Maybe just the map, maybe just a little more practiced on Ruby itself, but we'll have to wait and see how that pans out over the course of the rest of the series. It's still neck and neck up at the front too, not even a tenth between them as we round our final corner. It is Barbos who manages to get over the line first. Ender loses out on some time there. It's a PB from Binkss, but it is more importantly a new division record there. Oh, who would have guessed a division record in day 1 of the division from Barbos.
Crazy how that goes. Yeah, and what is
Amazing.
probably the most stacked match that is currently happening as well. Odd that we would be setting division records here. And also,
weird.
probably, I mean, most of the other matches probably not going to Ruby first as well. So, just in general, very surprising that we have a division record.
Yeah, insane. I don't know how anybody would have. We need like stretched goals for pick'ems. Like you get to like pick a wild card kind of thing. Division record broken on day one. That's a 100 to 1 odds. Honestly.
Yeah, maybe we're driving this stroke into the ground, but you know what? That's kind of our whole thing.
You know who else is driving something into the ground? Binkss, down by 1.3 seconds.
It's not his
Laugh
time, because I
track.
feel like driving a time into the ground is good because you want the time to be low. Yeah, is that anything?
I don't know.
okay.
I don't think it implies low. I think it just implies bad. I think that's driving something into the ground.
I'll accept
implies-
that.
Yeah.
That's fair. In which case, Binkss, yes, is driving his time into the ground this round. Over 2 seconds now behind the lead. Ender has looked very good so far on this one. Maybe the player that I was expecting. I won't put words in anyone else's mouth. I was definitely expecting Epos, Barbos, and Binkss to look like a clear top 3 in this one, and Ender to maybe be contesting. If he had a good day, one of the other players was a little bit off. Ender's looking great.
Yeah, and it's looking really good so far. Just basically staying in the top 2 is such a massive, especially when there are 4 players in the server, so big. Because if you're getting first places 3 times and then a 4th place once, you're pretty much in the same position as somebody who got 2nd places for all 4 of the rounds. So it's a good performance, and I think that's the thing, right? It's a long haul. You've got 100 points. You're just trying not to lose. If you get 2nd place, all is good.
Yeah, shout out to chat, keeping the algorithms honest, keeping the code honest, and shouting at it as soon as it doesn't update.
How
when Ender crosses
dare
the
you.
line.
We're used to the amazing production value of the Trackmania Challenger League. I don't understand why is it not better?
Yeah, not a manually edited text file for world records. I mean,
That had to be added after everybody complained that there wasn't.
yeah, absolute bangers. Also, 3 different producers working on 3 different setups, having to manually recreate that every time.
Also,
Great
us casting from either on any given day, Discord, VMix, or in-game, and with no notice.
All right,
on when.
listen.
You guys
already dead. Stop
it's
beating it
already
into the
dead.
ground. It's okay. This
my
is a really
God,
close
what a
round. Oh my god. Barbos
Wow,
PBs,
110.
and it does not matter.
Nope, not at all. That'll equalise the scores out quite nicely, though. We like to see it. Binkss will go a little further down into 4th position, but everybody else is starting to get a little closer to each other here. That's what we like to see. That's what we want to see here.
Yeah, and I mean, we have heard from Coach Coco that Bink's best
Coco.
map, well, 2nd best map, coming up a little bit later on, has been coaching, I believe, both Binkss and Sam for this competition. And so we'll hang on. I guess we'll see how Sam does over the course of it. Binkss, we expect to do well, but we're waiting to see how Binkss does once we do get to Miata. In the meantime, though, we do have Ice getting introduced into the mix, and we'll see who can handle the pressure, who is going to actually melt down on Meltdown as well. Because that was close. There were more mistakes than maybe we might have expected on our first map.
For sure. Yeah, I think Meltdown, people have seemed more prepared on Meltdown than I would have expected with ice sections like that. You know, we've not seen as many mistakes. I think there's obviously been the couple of missed finishes that have happened, unfortunately, and sometimes at very unfortunate times. But apart from that, everybody has looked well prepared, and I think going into Div 1, it should be even better, right?
Yeah, absolutely should be, hopefully, pretty impressive. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, there's a tricky section on this map, and so players are like, yeah, okay, well, that's the map I'm going to practice the most then, because I don't want to look like an idiot crashing this every round. Which,
well, I mean, you say
case.
that, but if you look back at any of the, any of the TMWT maps, that would make anybody look like an idiot. I don't care. I don't care how good you are. Ooh, clean.
Ooh, I like this camera angle. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, this is good. Can we just... okay, when is Trackmania adding preset camera angles that you can, like, keybind? So you can just...
We've been asking for it for years.
Yeah,
So
I'm
nice.
aware. I'm aware.
Yeah,
I just wanted to bring it up
would be
again.
ideal. Oh, it's so true. Like, having the ability to, like, just have your cool corner camera angle.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, the problem is there's a... Listen, we're not going to get
be
into the
fair,
weeds of it, but it's hard to even do with a plugin.
There's, like, 2 games that do that. Like, most top tier at esports don't have that as a thing.
Sure, but most games aren't Trackmania with
That's a
like,
good
you
point.
know, the whole thing being a racing game where it'd be nice to be able to set up camera angles.
Oh, of
Look.
course, but yeah.
Hey, who's in 4th place, Twiggy? It's Binkss.
It's Binkss.
Kind of struggling a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Coco is probably shaking, sweating,
Screaming, crying.
yeah, screaming, crying, other less broadcast-friendly verbs. Either way, Epos. I think Epos needs to perform a little after that first map. Obviously, not down by too many points, but needs to get something here, just about ahead. Ooh, half of a tenth between himself and Ender there. Oh my god, a new division record.
Whoa, it's crazy.
Whoa.
How does that happen?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, hey, pretty solid time though, nonetheless. I mean, sure,
yeah, very solid.
5/10 off of the world record held by, you may recognize the name Epos. It's not just satisfying to see all three over there on the left. World record, divisional record, and match record. I'd expect to see that continue to come down over this. I'd also expect to see Binkss clean things up a little bit. It has been shaky so far. Currently 20 points behind everyone else in the lobby, and there is only a single point separating the other three.
Yeah, and I get the feeling that is going to be a trend that continues. Oh no, definitely a trend that continues if Binkss keeps making mistakes. It's just going to let the other three monopolize their, oh, well, not monopolize, oligarchize? Is that I don't know, either way, something like that, their points, share the load, as it would, as J.R.R. Tolkien would say.
Sure, absolutely. Great reference, well made. And oh dear, there goes Ender. Has been performing well. Did walk away from map 1 with a map record, but he is currently sitting in 4th place in this round. Binkss has regained a little bit. Is looking if there is a mistake from Epos or Barbos in this end to maybe pick up a 2nd place and start to claw a few points back. But Epos looking for a 2nd round win in a row. Sets up wide, looks clean, should have the speed. Nice and easy. Barbos misses. And there goes Binkss and Ender for a 2nd and 3rd. Barbos will take 4th as the meltdown ending claims another.
Barbos gifting Binkss points there. Very nice of him. Either way. Apparently it's oligopolize, which is a dumb sounding word. I'm not going to lie.
Oligopolize?
Oligopolize.
As opposed to monopolize?
It's oligopolize sounds like a ancient Roman city.
Oligopolis. Maybe more Greek than Roman?
Yeah, maybe.
Given the polis is the Greek word rather than the Latin word. But yeah, I mean, like, listen, Twiggy, you do you know?
I really hope that came up on stream because
it did. I don't think it did. Production is shouting nerd at me whenever I say anything. Well, okay, thanks Twiggy for making sure that everyone called me being called a nerd. That's fine.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Anyway,
awesome. I'm leaving.
Well, let's see. Can Binkss get a good performance? I mean, it kind of gifted a 2nd there by Barbos. Maybe that's the start of just being able to take fate into his own hands here and bring himself back up into that one. It looks good so far. Has generally been making his mistakes in the first half of the map, so things are looking okay right now.
Yeah, this is much better from Binkss. Exit from the ice there, sometimes risky, but nobody making a big mistake. Barbos has dropped back by a couple of tenths, but Binkss holding on to a pretty solid lead. In fact, extending slightly, goes very high over the grass with that reactor, looking to carry a lot of speed up into this uphill. Goes very, very high. Ender is going to be entering this final ice then with less speed. We have seen those alternate lines. We've seen this low line maybe pull out the snipe. Binkss has pace though, and that speed carried all the way from that earlier grass reactor from going high as Epos has sniped Barbos, who will have to settle for 4th in that round as well.
Yeah. But most importantly here for Binkss, that is a massive, massive boon for him. Now within 4 points of Barbos, and also having the division record, well, having the most importantly match record for that extra point, as long as it's not broken throughout the rest of this.
I mean, look, we do still have an extra round to go here, and I think now with maybe Binkss actually finishing a round comfortably, hopefully we get a very close last round on it. Maybe, yeah, we'll cut away from Epos. Do we need to see that car? Probably not. Like, it's totally fine. There's a crash. Wasn't a full crash, but Binkss will drop back a little bit and very nearly clipped the outside on the entry to that 3rd as well.
Yeah, I think obviously, you know, what we're looking at here is less practice than the rest of the players, quite understandably. As how many weeks deficit does Binkss have technically? If he,
Like several.
Yeah, like quite a few. So I think it's understandable that more mistakes are coming on through. Consistency is really the thing that you're trying to get more of as you practice the map more and more towards this, and that is what all of these players have been gaining. And I'm glad to see that all of these players have really been putting a lot of time into it. We're not seeing a lot of mistakes happening whatsoever. It's more just optimization of times. Oh, my lord, Barbos almost misses, but most importantly for Epos, getting within 2/10 of the world record there, stealing that division record away from Binkss. His only kind of saving grace in that map.
Yep, and I mean, shout out to Twitch chat, managing to guess a 0.5, a 0.7, and a 0.8, but nobody guessing a 0.6. So Twitch chat, as in the mud as Binkss is right now, who is a little bit in the mud. Binkss definitely looking to clean things up. We are heading into Binkss's map pick. Coco did say on desk that this is the map that Binkss is second most comfortable on. Unfortunately, his most comfortable map banned away in this match. But it'd be a great time to start and stage a turnaround. You know, we are kind of hitting that halfway point of the map. Does usually feel like map 3 is that point where we're starting to figure out who needs to do what to succeed. And right now, Binkss needs to pick it up on map 3 is the answer.
For sure. The thing is, I think in the other matches we've seen so far, obviously in Division 2, we've seen much bigger of a gap form by this point. After 2 maps being done, we've seen a big gap between first and fourth generally. This is still pretty tight, honestly, and all things considered, which is what we expect with these 4 players. But I think it's going to be a really, well, this is an important map for everybody involved, and it's going to be a really important map just in general to try and catch back up here for Binkss.
Yeah, going to be tough for him, but it's not over yet. It never is. Reverse Cup mode provides the drama, the survival on last chance, always a possibility, and it all starts with a little bit of an improvement, with a little bit of form here on Miata. Binkss is going to have to pull it out of the bag.
Well, we will find out. Oh no, we've still got warm-up after the map intro. Oh man. Production fail.
A little bit of a skill issue.
Yeah, everybody at Sizzy on Twitter saying you ruined everything.
Oh, it's fun to make fun of Thomas because he bullies
really
me back.
Yeah, exactly. He bullies us, so we're allowed to bully him back. That's just
that's how it
the way it
goes.
works.
And also, I mean, he's not platformed really. We are platformed, so it may feel like it's one-sided, but
yeah,
nobody.
May
don't pay
feel like we're
attention to
taking advantage of unfollow accounts, but we're not. It's fine. Look, either way.
Hey, it's round 1. It's round 1.
Round 1.
It's round 1, and there is currently a divisional record held by Elcon. Has set one somewhere, somehow, in a different match. 110.245. Can anyone improve on that in this match? Based on how things have been going, I'll hit you with a yes. I think we are going to see a better time. But Binkss has had a little bit of a wobble there in the middle, dropping a little further behind Epos, and maybe even dropping the gear there.
Yeah.
A lot of speed lost. Ender is going to get an overtake into second place.
Ooh, and Barbos might just get that 3rd place as well. Binkss lifts up, and the troubles just compound themselves after that one little wobble there, falling way back into 4th position, not making the speed check. Oh dear, everything has gone wrong. Binkss is not getting back into this round whatsoever, but Epos has run away with things, 1 second ahead of 2nd place, just keeping it safe, keeping it clean up to the very end here. Let's see what kind of time is going to be set on that one. That is a lot of speed over towards the end. A 110.2 is very good. That is within half a second of the world record already.
Yep. We did say, you know, Epos has less world records coming into the actual event than he did going out of seeding. But, like, he still has some of the world records, and it's still very good. And one thing about Epos is that his consistency in rounds is usually right up there as well.
Yeah.
The ability to drive those times when needed is very, very impressive, and kind of showing that off a little bit here in this match as well. Currently in the lead on 72 points and starting to pull away a little bit from the field. Binkss a long way down on 35, Barbos on 45, and Ender just trying to stay out of that battle to reach last chance for as long as possible up on 59.
Yeah, and if things don't start going well for everybody else on the server here, Epos really is going to run away with things and just be able to, you know, make the most of the momentum that's going on. We saw it a lot earlier on in the Div 2 games, but it seems to be taking a hold here is that, you know, your confidence starts to fade as you get more and more 4th places, as you fall further and further down in those standings, and when you're constantly getting 1st places, you fall into a rhythm, you get into that flow state, and you manage to, well, stay in first place. Now with 72 points, you've almost gained a 40-point lead. All you need to do is hold on to it. Just stay safe, get at least second place.
And, well, first place would be better. It's going to be close, though. Barbos looks to have good speed. Epos clips. And Ender is through into second place. Barbos picking up the round win. Yes, he will. Ender will take second. Binkss will be happy with the third place. I think I say happy with the third place.
Massive
Shouldn't
PB.
be. But, like, that's unfortunately kind of where we're at for Binkss right now. It's happy with the third place.
Massive PB. Insane. Either way, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Is that sometimes confidence leads to mistakes. And while I'm not saying that is what happened there for Epos, it could have just been an isolated event. It is a slight problem, as it put him 7 points within reach of Ender there, and not too far off of Barbos either. Things are definitely not over yet.
No, they aren't. Binkss with a better start. Kind of. Hasn't crashed yet, is in 4th place and looking to overtake Ender. Good speed through here and into the dirt we go. A little bit less wide than the other 3 drivers, means maybe less exit speed as well will end up being the case, but Binkss is in the mix. That's important. Epos is holding on to first place at the moment, and there's the first big mistake. Ender crashing out off the side of that wall. Going to be a second or more behind the other 3 cars as we enter the back half of the map.
Things staying a lot closer this time around. Epos just about ahead of Barbos here. Binkss trying to catch up. Has a little extra speed going into the dirt here and might just be able to take second place, snipe something out. Oh, Epos touches the edge of that light pole, is going to fall back down, and that just makes speed issues worse. Dropping gears left, right, and center. Binkss might just be able to overtake into first place, into double snipe, up over towards the second. Or the last, not the second to last, the last checkpoint, managing to take over first place there, setting a pretty similar time to Epos's match record there.
Yeah, and, well, that's Binkss's second round win only so far in this match, but an important one. We said Miata needed to be maybe the turnaround point for Binkss. 1 round win, good. Second round win would be massive, and Epos, I think now the pressure a little bit on him to stop making those mistakes. That's back-to-back rounds with big crashes.
Yeah, I think fortunately for him, it is Binkss that is taking first place on the rounds that he is crashing, or well, Binkss getting high up on the rounds that he's crashing, which means that the gap isn't really closing too much to Ender and to Barbos, especially not to Ender, who has had a pretty difficult time in the last few rounds, but yeah, it is just making that whole grouping a little bit closer, and things have got down to under 30 points. They were over 40 points just a little bit ago. Binkss is starting to get into the flow of things. Obviously, we thought that this map was going to be looking a little better from him, but either way, it's a momentum gainer. It doesn't matter what map you get it on, if it's your favorite map or not. Confidence is such an important part of this game.
That was the widest we've seen Binkss go on that outside dirt yet. Now, it hasn't worked out, but if you're talking about confidence, maybe there was a hair of that creeping in there, looking to maybe push that line a little bit. It is still very, very close. 3 players within half a tenth of each other, heading to the line. Binkss on the inside, looking quick. Epos and Barbos. It's Barbos to the line. Binkss took second with a PB as well, and there was a divisional record in the mix as well. Oh my word, what a finish to Miata.
Well, that means Barbos is able to snipe out that extra point there. That is absolutely massive. Just in the nick of time. I mean, what an important round for literally everybody involved. Epos has had a mare, not really, like, he didn't even make that many mistakes, except now he's barely in first place anymore, and that is how quick things can turn around. We're finally going to be seeing a new map for us on the stream. And now things are higher stakes than ever.
And I did say I'd be happy if we got to the end of the match and, you know, not all of the map records were being held by Binkss.
Yeah.
Currently,
none of
3
them.
map records set. None of them held by Binkss, and each of them held by a different player as well. Ruby was held by Ender when we left. Epos holding Meltdown, and Barbos sniping away Miata right at the end there. We will be revisiting Ruby. We might get back to Meltdown as well at some point, but it's kind of all over the place at the moment.
Yeah, honestly, the series could go on as long as it mathematically could if things keep going this way, because it really is just over and over. We're seeing changes in stuff. We're seeing a lot of crashes coming on through the worst of times for players that are doing well. And now, you know, as we get through back into the repeats of maps, it's going to be so much more important that you manage to take what you have. I think there's like a short-term memory and a long-term memory to practice, right? Is that warming up on a specific map is different to just having the muscle memory on it. So when we get into a repeat of a map, it's going to be so important to patch up the mistakes that you made the first time around.
Especially on Perseverance. It's a difficult map, as been pointed out in chat, but I would have brought it up anyway. Quite difficult to Regu to manage to hit their consistency on this one. It's a very flowy map, I think, as well, compared to some of the other ones. You know, you really... You need to keep your gears on all of these maps, but on Perseverance in particular, I think, you know, managing to hold your speed and hold your gears all the way through is going to matter a lot for these players. And if you kind of exit that flow state that you were talking about, if you're not quite feeling comfortable, that's going to be disastrous. And, whoa, dear. Goodbye, Ender.
Yeah, and on a very transitional map, that is the kind of thing that can happen if you are 1 centimeter off the line. Unfortunately, Ender is going to have to work very hard to catch back up into this one. Obviously, a mistake could be made from anybody else in the server. We've seen quite a few come on through today. It's not the end of the round for him, but it's pretty close to it.
As it is still close between the top 3 up there. It's obviously disastrous for Ender, looking at a -10 on this round and getting very close to Binkss. Binkss would love a win in this round to really bring it back to Ender for the first time in a while. But it is Epos and Barbos 1-2 at the moment. Barbos on those tail lights of Epos at the moment, but Epos showing no signs of cracking. Barbos goes a little bit earlier, a little bit lower through that dip, and has managed to sneak a little bit closer to Epos. I don't think so. It's hard to tell. Epos, in fact, maybe extending that lead ever so slightly as we round our last couple of corners, as we head to the risky fin. Barbos looking for the slide, will not get it, but went for it. Less than a 10th, and Binkss in third.
Yeah, Barbos with a really beautiful line. Risky going on that lower... You have lower speed if you take it tighter, and that means that you're less likely to get to the finish line, but manages to get there a little bit quicker, just not enough. That gap was just a little bit insurmountable for them there. Things do still equalize a little bit there in these in the lower kind of points area. Epos extending that lead, though.
Now on 48 points. Remained on 48 points. 11 ahead of Barbos, and Binkss has managed to once again shrink the gap a little bit to Ender, but running out of time. Only 17 points. That's potentially a 3rd and a 4th place, and Binkss is currently sitting in 4th place.
Yeah, it's not mistakes that are happening, it's just that you can tell that slight lack of confidence going into this map. Obviously, a little bit less practice either will manifest itself in big mistakes, or it will manifest itself in just less confidence, less kind of a willingness to take a full speed corner or a tighter line or anything like this. Just feeling a little less like you know what's going on around you at all times, less muscle memory, but Binkss is doing a really good job of showing that experience and keeping up despite the difference in practice that he has over the rest of the field here. As we round the corner into our final section of the map, it is still Epos in 1st place, could manage to drop 1 or 2 players down towards, oh dear, final chance here. Binkss moves up into 3rd. Epos will take 1st once again, a division record, and getting once again very close to his own world record there. But that's a really important round for Epos.
Yep, and well, Bozbez, a round ago, did hold the division record. Elcon had managed to sneak a new one in there while that round was being driven, and Epos said no. We're still holding it in this match. Thank you very much. Goes all the way down to a 1:11.228. That is quick, and it is Epos still only just below the 50-point mark. Binkss picks up that 3rd, needs to stay out of 4th, is perilously close at this point, though, to being on last chance.
Yeah, and honestly, if anybody can bring out the kind of push, the second wind in pace that is needed to stay in this one here, it is Binkss. You know, there is so much quality in this server. Anybody could manage to stay on last chance for a massive amount of time. And obviously, when there's 4 players in the server, you don't even have to get down to last chance. You could stay getting 0 points until somebody does get knocked out of the rounds. So Binkss just needs to add that little bit extra pace and try and gain just the slight bit of confidence that it seems like Epos and Barbos have over him here.
Yeah, Epos looking great. Really comfortable on Perseverance, but Barbos is hanging close. Binkss with a crash could be disastrous. Ender is only a second and a half behind, and so he's probably going to get the overtake on Binkss. There it is. Binkss looking at last chance. All of a sudden, Epos, what's the time? Doesn't need to be anything too impressive, but it will be anyway. There's another divisional record, 111.122. And Barbos close in another match that's probably good enough, but this match has Epos.
Yeah, Binkss now down on 0 points, needs to defend that one. And honestly, hasn't been getting a massive amount of 4th places recently. But I don't know. Honestly, we've seen a lot of 4th places come out from Binkss. Obviously, most of them were in the first map, but either way, it still could happen. Needs to pull out a massively clutch performance here. For a little while, we've seen bigger gaps from 0 to 1st place. I think it was something like 70 on our first match today. But 48 is still pretty difficult to overcome. I don't think there's any chance of getting 1st place in this one here. It is all going to be just trying to maximize what you can. Get a good time here and try and get 2nd at best.
Try and hold on, but it's not looking great. There's a mistake. It's Barbos for the first time in a while who has made the error. We have not really seen him crashing for a long time, being the most consistent player, it feels like, in the server. But this round, to save Binkss' life, has made the mistake. Ender, though, sitting in 3rd as well. This is good from Binkss. This is better from Binkss. It's still just as good up front from Epos.
Oh my god, but Binkss has so much speed. It's caught right up to Epos and right behind, still overtaking, looking like, just a little less pace. It was so close, half a tenth between the two, but that is a brilliant time from both Epos and Binkss there. That's exactly the clutch kind of factor that you need. Binkss maybe just diamonds in the rough, the pressure turning him to being able to set those times. I want to see more of that when we get to our map repeats.
Yeah, that was 111.2 from Binkss. Like, that was incredibly
wild.
Fast. Why has he not been doing that the whole time? Simply drive faster.
Maybe just needed the push. Sandbagging to 0 points and then able to bring it on back. You can still win from a last chance, so maybe that's the plan.
Yeah, gonna need Epos probably to start doing a little bit worse in some of these rounds.
Probably.
But there is the possibility, as we head back to Ruby, that Epos could start to look a little bit shaky again. This is definitely the worst, I think, that we've seen Epos look on a map in this match, and fair enough, it's the first map. Sometimes players are still kind of warming up, feeling it out a little bit. Maybe Epos suddenly pops off this time around, but definitely a chance if anyone is still thinking about that 1st place and not just survival and 2nd. This is probably where it needs to happen. This is where you need to start to haul in that big lead Epos has built up.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's not like Epos has been infallible whatsoever. They've been, chipping away at those points this whole time. Has lost quite a lot of them. We've seen much more dire positions for the bottom 3 by this point in a series, so it's definitely doable. I mean, everybody on the server has the quality to be able to drag Epos down to the depths with them.
Yeah, well, hopefully. We'll see. I just want an exciting end. I think we're going to get one. I mean, Binkss now on last chance, has survived 1 round. How many more can he go? We head back to Ruby. It's not quite a diamond in the rough. It's not quite, pressure makes diamonds, but pressure makes rubies.
More ethically sourced, so...
True. Good point.
Not much. There's no ethical consumption under
production.
Capitalism, but it's slightly better than diamond.
Production reminds us that at some point we would be sponsored and maybe
sponsored by a diamond company. That'll happen for sure. because the main demographic for jewelry is esports viewers.
Yeah. Listen,
absolutely.
A bunch of men about to hit their 30s, like, it's not the demographic for people who might be buying wedding rings soon.
Video game industry. Anyway, either way, all Binkss needs to do now is not come 4th. So far, looking okay.
Yeah, well, this isn't ideal for Binkss, who has dropped a little ways behind, but luckily for him, Ender had dropped further behind already off of that start line. So not great for Ender, who will be joining Binkss on last chance at the end of this round. It looks like we could end up in triple last chance with everyone except Epos.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to be fair, I think I saw it coming. You look at the 4 players that are coming into this match, and it's probably the most likely we're going to see a triple last chance is just because the field is so tightly stacked that maybe there's one standout player, and that is Epos today, but everybody can bring out a great performance when they want to. Binkss comes third. That does mean that Ender is going to be on last chance alongside him, and Barbos is under 10 points at this point. It really doesn't take much now to get that outcome.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Ender, he's also lost his match record there, so that's 1 point just taken away by Epos in the previous round. A little bit unfortunate. Yeah, 1/10 off world record as well. Very impressive time driven by Epos, and I think just kind of saying, look, all right, boys, we've had our fun. Maybe some of you were still thinking about trying to take the first place, but no, battle it out amongst yourselves. I will be winning this match, thank you, and we'll just relax, okay?
Yeah, exactly. And again, Binkss not falling down into fourth. It is Epos down at the back this time. Barbos just needs to not... Well, I mean, anything is okay on this round. It doesn't really matter as long as he doesn't lose. He won't be on last chance no matter what. But let's stay in first. Give yourself an extra chance to get this done here. And so far, things looking good for Barbos here. Ender and Binkss not really worried about the outcome of this one as long as they don't fall behind Epos. But this is massive for everyone involved. Epos being last brings him that cuts the deficit by a fifth pretty much, and that is exactly what they want.
I do think this is the most nothing possible outcome for a round at this point, where it's like, Barbos wins, score doesn't change. The two players on last chance don't come last, and Epos, he loses 20% of his score, but he can still do that another 4 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine.
I mean, it's exactly what all of them want, but it's also the least influential outcome possible.
Yeah, just the single most useless round driven in this match so far. But hey, we love it, and it was enjoyable. A nice little rest. It was also a very quick round up front. Barbos was only a 10th behind the new divisional record set by Epos in the last round, so still driving very, very well. I'm sure we're saying it's a very nothing round. The stress is still there for the players in lobby.
Yeah, and I mean, for Epos, that's definitely a kick up the rear, I think, in terms of, you've been doing well. It can all go away in 4 rounds. I mean, it's as simple as that. If you don't stay on top of your game, it can really quickly fall behind. And Epos is actually down there in 3rd place for the time being. It's not a massive gap to overtake. Ender, though, really going to be sweating, trying to take this over here. Basically, if Epos isn't 4th place, it is going to be Binkss or Ender that is going out in this one, because they are both in that bottom 2. Epos fighting for extra positions here. Ender really trying to get that overtake done, but oh my god, I thought he touched the wall. He didn't quite. He's still in the game. Epos needs to stay ahead of both of them, though, here, just to eliminate one of them. Guarantee his place. Barbos is the one who's fallen down, and this is the worst outcome possible for Barbos, but the best outcome possible for Epos, who's moved up into 1st place and may actually not lose a single point in this round, sending everybody down into last chance. There it is. It is the exact outcome. This is insane. We are on triple last chance. Binkss has held on for so long.
I've seen reverse cups before, and so I know I can predict the future right now, Twiggy. Binkss has held on, has brought us to triple last chance, and will go out 4th in the next round. That's unfortunate. Okay. That's just how it goes. But I hope not, because what a comeback this has been. Triple last chance in our first match of Division 1 for the Beacon World League. Ender, Binkss, and Barbos are all looking to keep Epos in 4th place.
And this is so much pressure now, especially against somebody who's just all day been setting records at this point. Not world records, not quite, but he does hold most of those anyway, so it's not that important that he gets them. Just needs to be able to get those division records, get those extra points as well on top of the maximum amount of points from the game that he will be hoping to get. Still in 1st place for the time being. As things stand, somebody is getting eliminated here. It is just a battle between those bottom 3 to try and stay up. The Barbos hangs a wheel over the plastic. We haven't even seen that yet. And now back in 4th place by well over a second. It looks like the first player to go out will be Barbos, and he only just got to last chance.
What a fall from grace. Looking at walking away from this match with only 3 points. Barbos currently in 4th. Is there even room left for someone to make a mistake big enough for him to catch? I don't think there is. There you go. Epos holds 1st. Barbos will be the first player eliminated, picking up, as it stands, 3 points. 2 for 4th place, 1 for a map record over on Miata.
And there it is. You don't have to be the best in the server. You just have to look. Okay, when there's a bear chasing you, you don't have to be faster than the bear. You just have to be faster than the people who are running away from it with you. And
when Epos
honestly,
is chasing you, you don't need to be faster than Epos. You just need to be faster than everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing here, and that is what has happened. I mean, Binkss has held on for how many rounds now? That's like 6 or 7 rounds.
Yeah.
Honestly, one mistake is all it takes at this point. Honestly, sight's now set for the remaining 2 on just getting Epos down to 0 points. They can do it. He's not that far away.
I mean, on the other hand,
at this point, even if he comes first, well, I mean, obviously, if he comes first, somebody gets eliminated. But there is definitely a world in which they're able to do this.
Yeah, with that said, though, Epos is also set up for that most satisfying of reverse cup things, where you just line up your 3 opponents and then just
get rid of
rounds
systematically.
1, 2, 3, just up against the wall, and the revolution has come, brother. But we'll see. That it is 5 rounds survived at the moment for Binkss. We have 3 rounds survived so far for Ender. Barbos unfortunately couldn't even survive 1 and will be eliminated first.
Yeah, I mean, when it's such a high-pressure situation going down to last chance, and some people can handle it better than others. I'm not saying that Barbos can't handle that pressure, but it's just that, again, one tiny mistake, and it really was a tiny mistake, went a little too inside on the plastic, just barely hung a wheel, and going out in 4th place is a really tough loss to have, but Epos, 38 points remaining, basically just needs to come first. Well, I mean, just needs to come first twice. That's it. Or second and first. That works too.
Totally fine. Yeah. Well, there goes a little bit of a freeze. I can't see what's going on, but we're fine. We're back in, as Binkss is currently sitting in 3rd place, currently on that 5-round last chance survival streak. Can he do any better? Right now, not looking great, and Binkss did have a struggle the first time we arrived on Meltdown, and the struggle continues. Wheel into the wall. It's not a massive slowdown. It is only a couple of tenths, but it is most definitely a slowdown, and that's not ideal heading into the ice, but it will not affect his ice slide, managing to hold on a little bit slow on the exit, but still within touching distance.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, Binkss is relatively fortunate that he managed to get somebody eliminated there before we got back to Meltdown, because Meltdown, as he said, was definitely an issue for Binkss here, and it seems like it really has caught up with him. Managed to get 3rd place, though, and that's all that really matters as long as both of these 2 get into the finish line. Epos, there goes another division record, getting, well, within 2/10 now of the world record on that one. We're going to finally say goodbye to Binkss after what was an incredibly long hold on. Managed to get himself 3rd place and then tapped out. And now Ender. Can he? I mean, how many 1st places would it take?
I don't know, but I'm looking at Epos's time in the last round, and I'm saying he's revealed himself as the great enemy, the .666, to just
second phase buff.
Yeah. The second health bar has
the choir has
revealed.
come in, and it's Elden Ring second phase.
Ender's gonna win. It'll be fine. I mean, he's pretty close to Epos here. Look close in the last round as well, and that was with Epos setting an incredible time. So it comes down to who has the consistency. Both players from the same team as well should be highlighted here. Wumbo on top, as has been noted in chat, and a massive performance from Ender to pick up this 2nd place over both Barbos and over Binkss.
That was such a brilliant ice section from Epos there. Just the amount of exit speed he got catapulted him ahead of Ender here. Already 3/10 difference now, and that is pretty difficult to make up. Very possibly at this point. Epos is way ahead. The pace is so good here. Goes a little outside of what you might like there on the ice, but it is good. It's not quite a world record. Not particularly even close. Well, I mean, it's within half a second, but for Epos, that's absolutely nothing. Ender is going to be knocked out. Epos has got it done with 32 points to spare. What a brilliant performance.
Yeah, and well, that's the end of our first match. Twiggy, there's only one conclusion we can draw out of that. it is better to start your name with an E than with a
Yeah.
B for Trackmania performance.
Apparently, and in fact, wait, how alphabetized was that? Hold on,
E.
it may have been reverse alphabet order. No, but I mean
Binkss,
second letter as well.
Ender. Yeah, it was reverse.
It was reverse alphabet
You're
order.
correct.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm doing
Very
so well as
impressive.
Twiggy then. This is great
Wow.
for me. This is amazing.
Incredible stuff,
Okay,
Twiggy. I mean, it's a great time, I think, then to say goodbye to you as well. While you're still riding high after that, and after what was a very exciting match, we're going to head back over to the desk, and we will see Twiggy back for our final match of the evening shortly. Goodbye, Twiggy. Single tier. It's the way to go, and we say hello once again to Babs and Coco. And I'm sorry, Coco. I gotta ask, how's it feeling? I mean, Binkss held on for a long time. Looked like maybe the second place was within reach.
Yeah, I told you I was hiding something. Maybe the thing that I was hiding is that he was not prepared enough.
I should have considered that. Definitely a possibility. Babs, are we surprised by how good Epos was?
Not even surprised because I know how good Epos is. So yeah, not even surprised a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's Epos. Welcome once again. Our interview guest arrives right as Coco is saying nice things. And what a wholesome trend we have here. I think we should continue it.
I feel honoured having heard that from Coco.
Oh, I'm no one. I'm no one. Man.
Yeah, Epos, welcome. Congratulations. Big win. And honestly, as most of our wins have been tonight, like fairly convincing from first place.
I mean, you could say that, but you looked at my first match and I was so shaky, man. I felt really good in practice on Ruby. I thought in theory it should be my best map because I was doing pretty close to world record in my practice. But I don't know, man. I just got into the match and my hands just... and my heart rate went up. And yeah, it was a really rough start, but I'm glad I brought it back, to be honest. I'm really glad. Glad? I can't even speak.
Yeah, I just think Bob's had the first question for you.
Oh, Babs
Yeah.
has muted himself is what's gone on there, yeah.
I was going to say, coming out of that match, you've beaten some of your biggest opponents probably for those top spots in Division 1. Do you feel that was something of a final? Or do you think that there's still a long way to go before anything is decided?
Nah, there's a long way to go. I mean, I haven't looked at the results, but how did Boz do, if anyone knows?
So Boz did win his game.
Boz won his game. I consider him my biggest threat in the entire thing. I consider Elcon my second biggest threat, and
He
he's
also
in my
won.
next match. So, you know, it depends a little bit on next match, and it depends on the last week when I play Boz. But yeah, I don't know. I'm obviously stoked to have beaten Barbos and Binkss because they are so good at Trackmania. They're so good. So yeah, I'm pretty glad for sure.
And you seem to have the best winner mentality, I would say, coming into every single competition and wants to win it. How did you feel about those first two rounds where you told us were a bit shaky, but you really managed to get back your focus on the game, where Barbos just fell down because Barbos were the one to dominate the first map, I think.
Yeah, he was.
And he kind of fell off with Binkss. Ender was, I think, clutching second or third place, so not losing so much, but still losing points to you. And the end of the match was pure domination from your side. Are you still confident enough for the rest of the competition? You say Buzz and Elcon will be your bigger threat. Are you keeping your focus until these matches, these opponents, or are you feeling more relaxed about winning this match?
To be honest, I think every match has a different start and a different end. You can get in your own head so quickly in this game, man. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to try and keep my focus until the match. I'm not going to say I feel more relaxed because I felt pretty relaxed before my first match today. And then the match started and then the pressure began. So sure, I feel a little bit de-stressed now that I've taken the first match. But I mean, you can never tell until you're actually in the match, man. You really can't. So nah, I'm just going to give it my all. If I win, great. If I don't, it's how it is.
Can I just, Epos, very quickly get your live reaction to Bozbez's claim that the only threat that he poses is to his own sanity?
Okay, sure. That's just Boz waffling on as he always does. No comment.
That's a classic British Irish Trackmania players waffling. Name a more iconic duo. Epos, anything else that you want to add here while we still have you on the broadcast?
Absolutely not, to be honest. I've said what
Delighted.
I've said, and yeah, I'm happy.
All right, thank you very much for joining us for that, Epos, and best of luck in the next round as well. We do have one more match today, so we are going to go to a quick break, but we will be back after that to continue the Beacon World League action. We'll see you soon.